What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here and you don't know who I am, my name is Chris M. Walker. I'm the CEO and founder of legit.com. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing you the Facebook strategy that got me over 1 million views in the last 28 days. And I'm applying all of this to grow traffic, make sales, and get leads. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of information, and something you can apply starting today. So without further ado, let's get started in here. Mohammed says, I have a funny question. Why do you put that black nose on your tape? Nose on your tape? Tape on your nose? It is called hostage tape. And what it does is when you breathe, it expands your nostrils back out. So you get more oxygen. And it helps you breathe better. And it's not, I thought it might be woo-woo science at first, but there's a noticeable drop in my resting heart rate when I wear it. Most people just wear them to bed. I wear it all the live long day, and it really helps. And if hostage tape doesn't sponsor me soon or give me a brand deal, I'm going to launch a competing brand. How to sell my SEO services. What you're doing wrong is trying to sell SEO services rather than the results of SEO. So explain to people the benefit they get out of having SEO without ever mentioning SEO is probably what you need to do. All right, let's get into it. Today we're going to be talking about organic Facebook marketing. And what I mean by that is not paid advertising on Facebook. There's certainly a place for that. I spend just an obscene amount on that. Dev asked, by any chance, was the thumbnail AI generated? Yes, it was, using the example you sent me this morning. But no, what I'm talking about isn't even using a Facebook page. It's about using your personal Facebook profile to drive traffic and leads and sales. Let me see if I can find the analytics here. Now, well, actually, let's just talk about that first. So you have your personal Facebook. I assume most everybody here does. If not, welcome to 2005. Anyhow, but what you can do is turn on what's called professional mode. And I just have to see where that is. Well, anyway, there's somewhere over here that will be called professional mode. Okay. So let's see, where's analytics? This is, see more insights. That's 28 days post range. It's much better on mobile. All right. Well, what I'll do is go over here. There's one thing I don't like about it is that it's better on mobile, but we'll come back to that. And let's go to my profile. We won't be talking about that today, Sohag. All right. This is my insights from the last 28 days. 1.165332 million views, $121, 63.2 thousand engagements, and 1.2 thousand net followers. So to be able to see any of that, you're going to have to turn on professional mode, which, here it is. If you click these three dots, turn on professional mode. And what that does is, I'm not going to turn mine off because it's important, but it'll basically be where you can market it like it's a page, and as opposed to just your personal Facebook with your friends. So the reach is just much, much greater. I've gotten tons of orders, tons of engagement, tons of new clients, and it's just it's by far the biggest traffic source for my business right now. Not biggest traffic, but biggest visibility. Okay. Does everybody understand the value in that? Let me know in the chat. I want to make sure that I'm not losing anybody. Oh, wonderful. Dave TM says, thanks for checking through my legit profile. I have received 3 orders ever since then. I really appreciate it. I have a question for you. Do you have any idea on how to rank my Medium post on world search engines, especially Google? I'm finding that Medium is no indexing a lot now, probably because of Parasite SEO. So first of all, congratulations on your sales. But no, unfortunately, I don't have a good answer for you on that. I am going to, however, screenshot that and save it as a testimonial to what happens when you listen to me. So one moment. So let me save that. We have a Slack channel specifically for testimonials. Anyhow, let me get back to the matter at hand. So congratulations, Dave TM. Garza says, yes, sir. All right. Thank you. Thank you for responding. I hate when I ask that and nobody says anything. All right. So let's go through, I guess it's important to get the profile elements right. I'm not really happy with my current cover photo. Not that it's designed wrong or anything. I want to get something a little more branded, but for now, this is okay. A big picture of me and my name. Profile photo, I made one of those 3D pop out ones. You just want something professional looking. I may go back to just a screenshot rather than this 3D thing. Not a screenshot, a face headshot. But that you want to have a brief description, because you only get a small bio here on Facebook, but you want to have that filled out, and you want to make sure you get a link in there. You can get sneaky and get a link in there if you use your characters correctly. As you can see, you don't get many, so make it count. You have different. I showed you the different the professional mode. You have different categories that you can choose. So choose the one that makes the most sense for you. Obviously, make sure that your company is number one in the list here, and you're gonna have to like play with the formatting to get that right, and have all your companies there. You can choose to put where you live if you want. I do. You don't have to. Have your socials and your websites here. Make sure that they're active. I cannot tell you how many times I go to a Facebook or something and they have their business link there and it's a dead link. These need to be updated. I haven't updated them in a while. In fact, I don't even know if it still works the same way. So yeah, it does. I need to go and fix that. But make those be things that tell people about you. So, and I would even start by having the first one look like a cover photo, kind of like this one does. So I absolutely need to go update that. I'm ashamed of myself for not knowing it. You can't do anything with these. And then have your life events be your businesses. So that's pretty much all there is to profile setup. Now, some important things to note is 22,000 followers. Followers are not the same thing as friends. Friends are friends, and you can have up to 5,000 of them. I regularly prune people that are no longer active on Facebook or aren't my ideal audience. So for me, that would be business owners, entrepreneurs, agencies, maybe freelancers a little bit, things like that. And of course, you can have your real friends on there as well, like your real life friends as well. It doesn't have to be strictly business. I would try to get that up to 5,000 by adding it like 100 a day or so. And if you go to, oops, how did I do that? If you go to your actual Facebook, usually a couple rows down, Batman, will be this. So then what you need to do every day is go through and look at people who might be a good fit to be your friend based on it. Lately, I also think that it takes your relationship status into account, because it's been serving me a lot of pretty girls lately. So I have a feeling that's why, and I'm going to change that to invisible soon. But go through, look for people that are your ideal avatar. I'm trying to find a good one. Like this one might be. He looks like he owns a roofing company. That would be good. I actually know her. It's kind of. Yeah. See, it's. I'm going to change my relationship status because it keeps suggesting that. But let's look at Mike Chira here. I don't know if I know Mike or not, but what does he do? The mutual friends we have, I don't really recognize any of them except for Dev and Edwin. So he's probably not an ideal fan or friend. Not that there's anything wrong with him, of course. I'm just saying that for our purposes. Don't start this shit. That's not what we're talking about today, Bappy. Come back tomorrow. All right. She looks like she does some kind of podcast, and we have 23 mutual friends. And this list is over here as well. I help businesses market. See, this might be somebody that I would want to be friends with. So I'll go ahead and send her a friend request. My question is how to improve my, dude, come on, guys. Pay it. If you mean Facebook profile, I'm explaining it. If you're talking about your legit profile, that's not what we're talking about today. Don't piss me off. Okay? Have some respect. Stick to the topic at hand. And if you're talking about Facebook profile, continue watching. If you're talking about legit profile, come back tomorrow. Anyhow, now that's pretty much it. Just make sure you add a few people every day that are your ideal client. I am going to test changing my relationship status because it seems to be, even though like some of these are relevant, it seems to be force feeding me attractive women for the most part. So that's not really what I want because that part of my life I'm not using Facebook for. Anyhow, next thing up is your pinned post. Now, for years, I had the Chris M. Walker trailer video that I made of myself here as the pinned post back in, I want to say December. Yeah, December, Christmas Eve. I wrote this post about the Think Big movement, which is the motivation arm of my businesses, and I pinned that. But the pinned post needs to be either a call to action of some kind, something that gets people to do something that you want them to do, or something that tells them about you so they can look at that and see what you're about. I actually probably need to update this now because it's kind of run out of juice. But this is very important real estate. You can pin something here that if you get enough traffic to your site, and now that I'm thinking about it, I should put something there that actually makes me money. Pin something there that actually you will benefit from or will benefit you, whether it's a call to action or a sale of some kind or something that tells about who you are. This is literally the stream that you're watching right now. This was me promoting the stream right now. Here's a post about what we're talking about today. See how every post more or less is about my business and talking to my ideal client or customer. Almost every post. We'll get back to that. This one is kind of a motivational thing. Funny story about this. I just put initially call me Ishmael. And I had to change it because that's the opening line from Moby Dick. But a lot of people associated that with religion. And it just wasn't what I was looking for. Now, that's an important thing, right? You need to know when to pivot. And you notice I use, instead of just plain text, I always use this purple background. I tested that, and that's the only type of text-only post that works is a purple background. So use that keep your text as short enough to where it still does that as much as you can. And here's a tip. On mobile, you get more characters. So make these kinds of posts from your phone. Okay? Moving on. This is a personal one. I try to be a little bit funny. Sometimes it lands, sometimes it doesn't. This one didn't really land, but that's that. This one was something I was seeing trending. I see a lot of graphic designers upset by the new ChatGPT image generation thingy. So I took advantage of a trend and offered to be nice. This is a running gag I have whenever I travel. I pretend, which I actually don't for the record, but I pretend that I buy all the seats in my row so I don't have to sit near anybody. That's always popular whenever I travel. I tag where I'm traveling. Here is another post talking about what we're talking about today, how I got a bunch of views on a particular post on Facebook, a post that we'll be seeing here in just a minute. If you have any questions at any point, let me know. More travel. This was a live stream. This one was unusual because this was a live stream I did from my hotel on Thursday, maybe Wednesday, one of the two. And what I had found, or actually a customer had brought to my attention earlier in the day, was that somebody had bought legit LEGIIT.com and redirected it to Fiverr. So I used a clickbaity title. Legit has been taken by Fiverr. And this has got, you can't see it here. Well, maybe you can see it here. Yeah, almost 7,000 views, and it reached a little over 6,000 people, which means that multiple people watched it more than once. And then quite a few reactions. So you can see that kind of, I don't know, clickbait or whatever you want to call it title got me a lot of views. 7,000 views is more than I ever get on YouTube, which is sad. And see, here's me taking advantage of another trend. In fact, I actually copied this from Twitter, from Christian, from Client Ascension. And I said, I don't buy all this chat GBT image generation stuff. Someone make a crazy image with this hat and I'll believe. And what I was trying to get people to do was take advantage of the trend, get people to use my branded image and leave a lot of comments. It didn't do as well as I thought it would, but it did okay. By the way, this is a monetization thing that you get where you can have a pinned post promoting people to subscribe to you on Facebook. You can actually get paid subscribers on Facebook. So, yeah. You can see some people made some funny images. I didn't even see this one. I actually kind of don't like that. That's kind of mean, but it looks cool. Send me one piece. Share that image. You can see people made some pretty funny stuff. It gave them a reason to comment and engage. That's important. Give people a reason to comment and to engage. Okay. This is where I found out about a legit Jelly GIIT being not stolen, but redirected to Fiverr. So I called them out a little bit. This is me promoting something I'm going to be doing soon. This is the one that I most want to focus on today. This format where I got ChatGPT to act as blank, these 5 prompts exposed, and you can change this up, blank in my blank, that blank didn't. And you can see this one went crazy viral. 441 reactions, 125 comments, 109 shares. And let's look at the insights on it. 351,085 views. That's more than I got in Facebook all last month on that one post. And I was pleased last month when I had 300,000 views, and it reached 267,351 people. If you don't know what the difference is, reach is how many total people it reached, and then this is how many views it got. So that means that whatever the difference between those two are, looked at it more than once, or that some people looked at it multiple times. And then interactions is all of these. Say 872 people saved it, 109 people shared it, 125 comments, probably 50 of those are me, and then 441 reactions. So this is huge. In fact, what I'm going to do for you is make a template out of that, and I'll put that in the description of this video only on the Chris M. Walker YouTube channel. So if you're watching this anywhere other than YouTube, you want to go to YouTube to get the template for that. But then I'll show you in the comments what I did was just put the prompts there and explain what it does. If you want to know a trick, I've actually did test this out, but I used ChatGPT to create ChatGPT prompts. And that's all I did. And I got this strategy I didn't get it from her, but I saw Lauren Tickner doing this and I adapted it to my business. And I got some stars. That's another way you can make money. You'll also notice that I got quite a few haters on here. That shit happens. And then there's a lot of whiny people like this lady who is like, can't you put it in a video? It takes too much time. Stuff like that. And then there's a lot of this angry stuff usually from graphic designers, but you're going to get a lot of comments. And what you're going to notice is that most of these people are not my friend. They are people that follow me. And that's an important point that I forgot to cover that I'll touch on in a minute. But you'll see almost none of these people are a friend. They're people that see my content regardless of it. So is everybody with me so far? It's awful quiet in the chat. Let me know if you're following along so far. Does it tell me how many people followed me from this? I think it does on mobile. Let me see. Yeah, if you're still with me, speak up. It makes me think no one's listening when there's no interaction. So let's look on Facebook. Eric says speaking. Hello, Eric. Always good to see you. All right, let's see. See insights. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that, but it's 282 follows I got from that one post. So that means that people will be able to see it. Now, it's important that you set all of your posts, or at least all the ones you want for your brand, to public. Now, if you don't know how, what do you call it? Privacy settings work. You have public, which means anyone on or off Facebook can see it. It's kind of like a blog post in that sense. Friends would be just your friends. So just the 4,500 people. And by the way, that doesn't mean they're all going to see it. In fact, there's almost nothing you can do to make them all see it. You can create list. This one here, for example, is where I used to work. And when I didn't want them to know I was fucking around on Facebook at work, I would do that. You can make it only you. You can make it for specific friends. You make it to your subscribers only. And then so on. So you want public because that allows people to see it and to drive to your business. So let's keep going. Travel. Random travel thought that I had. Travel. This one was just a random thought I had. Funny story about this one. I posted it as just text without the purple background, and it got 0 engagement. So I just whipped out my phone, took a picture of what I looked like at that moment, and added it to the post, and it did okay. Nothing fancy. This was alive. This is another one of these. This one did pretty good too. Not as good as the other one, but we'll look at the insights on that. But you can see that template is absolutely slaying. And you can see this one got reached 55,421 people and got 75,789 views and 500 reactions. That doesn't seem right. I guess they're counting saves as reactions. And 95% of them were people that don't follow me. So that means that were people that were newly exposed to me. Exposed. Live stream, promoting live stream. This is where somebody else tagged me. Usually I don't approve those, but this is for a good cause, for a good friend. So I approve that. This is a random quote. These perform better on other platforms, but I like to mix them in one time. This is a shit post. 100% there just to drum up engagement. And the way you do that, and I'll give you a chat GPT template for that as well. But the way you do that is you just put something controversial. And I recommend you immediately turn off notifications because that shit is annoying. But you can see that got a lot of comments and a decent amount of interactions. Let's see what it got as far as stats. Reached 2,300 people for 3,500 views and so on. So anything that forces people to give their opinion. I'm watching only one. I have no idea why. Oh, you must be watching on the legit YouTube channel. So yeah, you are the only one watching there. Because I'm broadcasting this to, let me just tell you, to the Chris M. Walker and legit Facebook pages. Well, my personal profile and the legit Facebook page, the legit YouTube channel, the Chris M. Walker YouTube channel, the Superstar SEO YouTube channel, the Chris M. Walker X, and the legit X. Dev says, I remember your soccer football. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm doing with those. I say that football, the way Americans describe it, is actual football, and soccer, the way Europeans describe football, is soccer, and it always gets engagement. So if you ever find that your profile is starting to dip off a little bit, that works. This was a sale, and this generated me a good amount of revenue just for one post that basically said nothing. Another live stream, promoting live stream. This was me announcing some cool features that were coming to legit. I probably should have used emojis here to as like bullet points. I didn't. I don't know why. This post didn't do well. Neither did this one. I was disappointed because I took a long time to write this one out. But we're going to get back to that in a minute. This is a personal one. This was, I went to see the movie Alto Nights. Great flick, by the way. And I noticed as I was watching it that Robert De Niro, was playing both of the lead characters. And I didn't know that going in. And then it dawned on me, I just whipped out my camera and took a little video clip from it and posted about it just to show me doing shit, This was another one, and this kind of relates to one before it. So I'll skip ahead to that one. This post I was very proud of and very surprised that it did as well as it did. This is a post I wrote about discipline. basically, how to be disciplined, for lack of a better thing. And it was really in depth. It took me like 2 hours or something to write. And you can see it goes on and on and on. It's like 2,500 words. I was really proud of it because it was something I was passionate about. And I didn't think it would do well because these long text posts don't. I did attach an image. And by the way, images of myself, I'm not vain. They just convert better than anything else. Pictures of me always slap, as the kids say. Dev, do the kids say that? And I was really, really proud of the fact that this performed as well. In fact, I'm happy with how well this performed. Usually long form posts like this tank. But you can see 27 shares. I like to, by the way, anytime somebody shares it, I'm not 100% on this, but I like to go through and like the share that they gave just to show that I appreciate it. Come on, Bappy. 32 comments, 124 reactions. So look at the stats on that. 95% from non-followers, 28,327 reach, 36,000 views, and 314 interactions. So I'm really happy with that because that's something that I was like genuinely passionate about. And I'm glad that it worked because it usually doesn't. Plus, I look fucking cool there. Live stream. I skipped one. I wanted to show you. There's another controversial post in here. Is AI going to help or replace us? This didn't do as well as I thought it would. This actually references the post that I wrote on discipline. And I kind of made fun of myself. Writes post about discipline with a large section on diet. Has a massive slice of pizza afterwards because I went to the mall and had a piece of pizza after that, and which I'm going to do later today, by the way. So anyway, and I built on that point. Now this one flopped, but it is what it is. Live stream, back to that post. Another shit post. This one did very well because everybody has an opinion on it. This one was a shit post that didn't work. Live stream promotion, live stream. Aha! The next one I wanted to show you is, and this is where AI becomes powerful, is my Google Chrome Lead Finder extension is ready. Let me know if you want access. So I'm asking people if they want access. This is if you ever were on Twitter in like 2021, 2022, this shit crushed there, and now it's working on Facebook. And what you can do is if you have a valuable thing, it can be an ebook, it can be a software, it can be a template, an SOP, whatever. You can do that, put an image of it and say, let me know if you want access. And what you want to do for the first, there's really no set number, but for the first 10 or so people, DM them the link to it. So that way people keep commenting and they don't see it in the comments. And once it starts getting momentum, then you can just post it, like reply with it, and that will boost up the post as well. Let's do it this way. The giveaway format is working well on LinkedIn too. Yeah, it is. You can see, people are still commenting on it like a week later, more than a week later. I'm just trying to find one where I replied with the link. So then after a while, you can just reply with like, tip on that. Don't do it too fast. If you just go reply, Facebook is going to limit you. And it takes like a week to get that lifted. So pace yourself with it. But that worked really well. I got hundreds of downloads of my lead finder. Excuse me. And the post, 28,913 reach, 38,615 views, 86%. This is a little different, but 86% from non-followers and 14% from followers. And you can see the interactions as well. So the shit works. And, and we're going to keep going for a little bit. We'll go back probably to like the beginning of March, just so you can see everything. I'll show you this. There's a weekly, once you get approved for the Facebook monetization program, and I don't know what you have to do to get approved for it. It's very random, but there's different monetization channels you can get. You can get stars. You get paid just for the views and interactions. And then you can have subscribers. And let me just show the weekly challenge. Hopefully you'll be able to see this. Maybe I'll make like a mini course out of this or something. If there's interest in that, let me know. But every week it gives you different challenges. And again, I don't know if you can see that, but that's as close as I can get without fucking up my teleprompter. But basically, it gives you different things to do. And the more of those you do, you can get the Rising Creator badge, which will, it doesn't show on my profile for some reason, which pisses me off, but I do qualify for it every week. But it'll show you to more people. And the more things that it gives you to do, the better you will do. There's also a feature in there. I think I need to make like a full like course out of this because I think this would be good. But there's a feature in there that allows you to turn on auto suggestion. So basically, if you have a Facebook group, it will auto invite people that follow you to your group. So it'll grow your group on autopilot. But anyway, I had to post a story every one of the 7 days. I needed to get 50 new followers, publish 15 posts, get 500 interactions, and 1,150 more views on my content. By the way, that one I had done by 12/10, the day that it resets every week. So there'll be challenges every week on that. Do everything that it asks you to do. Sometimes it'll be respond to comments. That's such a pain in the ass, but it works. So, oh Jesus, I lost my train of thought. Moving right along. But anyway, that's what this was just to, it said to make a post about asking people to subscribe. So I did. Live streams, by the way, are disappointingly performing poorly for the most part, which is disappointing because they used to be clutch to my business. But man, I'm good looking. But yeah, so they just don't draw eyeballs. I don't know why. This was just a random complaint that I had. This was shared with somebody else. I was working on something, and I still am, by the way. But I was teasing something that I might be able to release in the future. This was somebody else's live stream. This was me announcing a feature on Legit. I don't know if this is done or not. I need to check with Jim on that. This was me making a point. This is kind of like a personal story. I like to weave these in. If I had more of a life, it would be easier. Blind Mind says, hi, sir. Hello, Blind Mind. But I told a story and I tied it into something that's useful. So it did okay. This was me complaining about review sites. Trustpilot actually replied, and then they didn't reply on top of that. Live stream, tease of a live stream. This was just a thought that I had because I've been reading a lot of books lately, and my mind feels on fire, honestly. And it's the cause of that is these. And this actually did better than I expected. So I'm happy about that. This was a quote that I got from, I think it was the movie Higher Learning that just randomly popped in my head and I posted it. Live stream, beginning of live stream. This was when I was teasing the plugin. It did well. This is one of those things that Facebook asks you to post, and I do. Another one was you need to do a reel using the remix feature. So I just found one that was semi-related and did it. It actually did better than I thought, but it was just to get past that. This was a genuine thing that happened to me that I thought people might be able to relate to. And it did okay. Live stream, tease of a live stream. This was me actually being pissed off that people kept making political posts or political comments on my regular posts. Anyway, I made this image with ChatGPT, but I was noticing just a lot of angry folks. That was kind of the theme for that day in general. So I wrote a post about how bad anger is for you and made this image. I was generally trying to be helpful. This one was interesting because like it started not getting any engagement, but it kind of like kicked in after a bit. That happens sometimes. So you can see decent numbers for a post that I was just quite genuinely from the heart. Bro, I've been elaborating for 30 minutes now. You can go back and watch, and maybe I'll break this down into like a little course or something. We get threatened with a lawsuit at least once a quarter, so I posted about that. Live stream. This was me just uploading the pics from our Legit Live event. Same with that. There was hundreds of them, so I had to break it up into separate posts. This one was one of the speakers was James Slattery, who is a good guy, good friend, and he passed away shortly, maybe a month ago now. So I just posted the pics I had of him. In a live stream tease. This was somebody else tagging me in a post. This was a podcast which reminds me, I have a couple folks I need to do that. This was a podcast I was on, so I shared it. Live stream. This was just a thought I had when somebody asked us to delete their data, and literally they had just signed up. This is somebody else tagging me and sharing me on one of the software. Let me know if you want that. There's another picture of James, another picture of James, another picture of James. And here's another one where here's my free thing. Let me know if you want it. That one did okay, not as good as they usually do. Probably because it was the audience for it was very specific. Oh, and it's starting to lag. When you scroll too far down your timeline, your stuff will lag. Hopefully that didn't reset it. Live stream. I was going to test out a thing. For those of you asking me to look at your legit profile, I didn't delete any comments, bro. This was that. Live stream. This is my friend Anand tagging me. This is one of those things that Facebook tells you to do. I don't know what this is. Oh, he tagged me in a video he made, so I just approved it. This one is interesting. I had this random thought about college and how this is what people make from college and how you could do that. And I got so much hate on this one. It was insane, but it did well. And by the way, if you are going to do this kind of public, I'll answer your question in a minute, Dev. If you're going to do this kind of public stuff, you're going to get some people that don't like you. It just comes with the territory. If that bothers you, this may not be for you, but what you really need to do if that bothers you is get over it. But this one slapped. This, as far as text posts go, this is just insane. 90% non-followers, 71,000 views, no saves, which is interesting. 8 shares and a bunch of reactions. Live stream, and I'm going to go back until we've looked at a month's worth. This was somebody else tagging me in their post. By the way, if you'd like to come meet me in person, you can do that next month at SEO Spring Training in Chandler, Arizona, for SEO Spring Training. Could it be any more of a SEO conference? Because Chandler, hopefully somebody gets that reference. This was me talking about how well our home remodeling case study that we finished up was doing and getting things. And funnily enough, the owner of Lead Smart, actually, it was a friend of mine and I didn't even realize it. And he commented on this and got me access. This was the demo of the free rank and rent plugin I did because it's a bit of an abstract concept, but it did okay. Live stream. This was another podcast I was on. I just wanted to tag the author and show my appreciation. Thank you for all these podcast appearances, by the way. Thank you to Dev, who is watching right now. Here was another giveaway. This one did not do that well, interestingly, because I posted this in my group, the Superstar SEO group, and it slayed. Like, it's still getting reactions. This was somebody tagging me, live stream, free legit profile review, follow the instructions in the comments. This was for one of my Sunday live streams. No, that was for the Slack channel, which I stopped doing because people weren't appreciating it. It's one of those things that Facebook makes you do. This was an SEO flex and an attempt to low-key promote my product without saying, look at my cool product. Live stream. God, I'm really good looking. Few reels. I don't do enough reels. But I have some live stream. This was our charity for February. Today's live stream was, I don't even remember what this one was. Oh, I know what it was. It was one of the days that I didn't feel like doing a full live stream, so I just did like a 2-second one. By the way, still on, this was quite literally for what it says, but by the way, still at 100% on this. Oh, this was where somebody tagged Chris Walker, the musician, which is why I use the M in my name. So I shared that because it's funny. And this is a recurring gag that I have on my page for a good 5 years now. Anyhow, but it's something that people get a kick out of and look forward to. and we just have a lot of fun with it. And I post that exact same picture, which, by the way, getting one today because this is getting out of control. I should be proud to be able to grow this kind of hair at 47, but I'm not. I like it when it's short. But anyway, it's just a running, like an inside joke that you have with your followers. And we're almost done. Live stream. This was a setup for a live stream, but the reason I did it was because some dumb fuck was commenting about how the success we had with the case study, like, didn't count. So basically I leaned into it and told him to go fuck himself via that thumbnail. A new feature announcement. These, I got to do them to get people aware of them. They're hit and miss on how well they do. This was, again, me trolling that prick that said that what we did didn't count, because I'm sassy. And that's pretty much a month's worth of my content, and it got me over 1 million views. So that's kind of, and then another thing that counts toward these that I found out recently, and then I'm going to take your questions because I see a few of them piling up. I just swore that looks just like, does anybody know Derek Pierce? Because that looks just like him. That's funny. I thought that was Derek Pierce at first. I'm going to have to come back to that, save that, because I want to tag him and say Derek Pierce. Anyway, Superstar SEO is one of my Facebook groups. And I found that stuff that I do in the groups actually counts towards that as well. This may or may not be me, just trying to get some extra engagement. This is the post about this live stream that you're watching right now. But these, and I have a ChatGPT template that or prompt that helps me write these, and I'll share that in the description of this video on the Chris M. Walker YouTube channel. So if you want this, come back to the video after the live stream, and it'll be there. And so will the template on how to write those posts that really slap. I'm going to keep doing that so I sound cool. But anyway, you see how it's a yes or no type of question. People love to engage with those, and it has absolutely crushed for my group. So, and it helps with my personal profile. You can see they always get a lot of, not always, but almost always get a lot of comments and engagement. And it's helped really reignite this group that was running on fumes. So you can see they do very well there as well. So let's look at these analytics, and then I'll take your questions. So growth, last 28 days, you can see that was, if we go back, let's go back to 60 days. You can see pretty much flat, a little bit of an increase. But here was when I decided, well, the 7th was when I decided to make this start happening again, and it shot off like a rocket. It's when I started doing those posts, and I turned on the auto invite feature from my profile. So you see how it kind of all works together. We got 764 new members. We declined almost as many as we approved because we have standards. So there's that. And then let's look over at engagement. How many of you didn't even know a lot of this stuff existed, as far as that you could do it with Facebook? We can see in the last 28 days, which, because it goes through yesterday, we had 88% more posts, 251% more comments, and 291% more reactions. It doesn't tell you how many members. I guess you can do no. Yeah, you know what, that's what I'll do is March, or I'll do February. So we had 21,717 active members. That's like a small town of members that are being active. That's about 30% of the group, which is kind of depressing. Let's do custom and do February 21st versus 28. So February 1 through 28. You can see that didn't really work the way I expected it to, but nowhere near as much. So, you know, this shit works, guys. I think that's it. If you have any, I'll go through the questions that are here, but if you have any more, let me know. And if you want me to turn this into like, kind of like, because I kind of cruised through everything. If you want me to turn this into like a formal training, let me know. I love this shit. I like this more than I like SEO, but I'll be happy to. Whew. All right. Dev says, curious, how would you start if you got your extended family and IRL friends are added on Facebook. I would do exactly what I said anyway, because I still have my handful of IRL friends on here as well. Like this is still my same Facebook account from 2007. I think it shows it in here somewhere. Isn't there like a view as other people? Yeah, there we go. So this is what you would probably see when you go to my profile. I thought I had it on there, but yeah, I've been on. This is my same profile that I started back in 2007. So I still have like my friends and family on here. I just don't have that many real non-internet marketing friends. But before I started doing this, I had about 200. You can also get a second profile, but you're not supposed to. Yeah, I don't really know how to show you, but I mean, my personal friends are on here as much as are my thing. And if it's a thing where you have a job still, I know you don't, but if you have a job still, you can. It's a bit harder, to be honest. I don't know. I don't know what I would recommend if you had a job. If you is because even if you like create a second profile, they could still find that shit. So I don't know what advice I would give you, assuming that you don't want them to know. You know, my two comments. I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm late, but congrats on your accomplishments. Thank you, Shannon. Did you ever think that maybe there's more to life than being really, really, really ridiculously good looking? Chris, probably. That's from Anchorman, if I'm not mistaken. And no, there's not much more to it. That's why cacao. And for those of you that don't get my sense of humor, that's satire. Dev says slay. Mohammed says good night. Chairs. I assume that means Chris. It's 10:48 here. Stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy. You do the same, my friend. Shannon says, I've noticed other people in the group are starting to ask relevant questions also. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I've noticed that too. Like it's absolutely worked. In fact, what's funny to me is this, not funny, but which proves to me that this shit is working, other than the numbers, is where is it? Let's do it this way. And most relevant to new posts. Okay, my bad. I knew it was one of those early zeros comedies. I haven't seen this group in my. Let me zoom in. This to me is more proof than the numbers. I haven't seen this group in my feed much until recently. How did you revitalize it? It's also what made me decide to talk about this today. So this, by the way, everything we talked about today, you can do regardless, but this is part of our case study because this is how you can drive traffic to your business. And it works on other platforms too. I know people that do really well on X, not X the drug. I mean, I probably do, but I'm talking about X Twitter. But for me, Facebook is the one where I've really like, I don't want to say I've cracked the code, but I think I've pretty clearly cracked the code. So, yeah. Center request book on Facebook, pending. And it's still pending. Same DP as my Facebook. Okay, sure. Let's find his friend request because there's something to look at there too. So let's go friend requests. Looking for him. There he is. So this is another place you can kind of go through them. You'll get to where you can instinctively tell if it's someone you want to be friends with or not. Like, for example, this I know is a fake profile for the copy of my friend David. One way you can tell is this shit. Usually if they have that, it's fake. Not always, but sometimes. And let's go through, because I do feel like I breezed through that because at least this is not all pretty girls. Not that I have a problem with pretty girls. This guy is probably a copywriter. Artist, brand and marketing consultant, filmmaker, outlier, minister. Interesting. This is probably someone that I could benefit from being friends with. So, and I hate to be so transactional, but it is what it is. I also like to check if they've messaged me. If they have, it usually means they're going to try to sell me some services. Like this one is probably, let me close some of these. This one is probably a coach of some kind. Generally, if it's like a professional looking white guy, that's what it is. Not always, but that's my mom. Let me close all these. Live like a legend, would lead with a leg. Yeah, so this is probably a coach. And again, nothing wrong with that model, but it doesn't really. I'm sorry to hear that. This account actually got flagged or something one time, and I would never get the two-step verification, so I was locked out of it for months. I wish I knew how to help you. I'm easy. What you might try doing is signing up for Meta Verified, because one of the things that you get with that is access to their support. So it might help. I don't know, but it's worth a shot. Let's see. This one's probably a coach. You can also tell by the mutual friends that you have. Coach Kavanaugh is hot. Yeah. So I'm not interested in them because, again, nothing against them, but they just want to sell you shit. And they don't want to take the time to do what we've talked about today. I think we looked at Jillian earlier. I already looked at his. He's a coach. This might be somebody. Nope, coach. And I saw it somewhere, but I have over 1,000 of these pending, so I'm not going to go much longer on this. But see how people I may know is almost entirely pretty girls. I don't get why. I mean, it's probably because of my relationship status. So I'm going to take that away and see if it starts recommending like other people that, unless they just assume that I'm so good looking that I know a lot of attractive ladies. That was a joke. But you can just kind of go through this and just add, 15, I don't know, 25 to 100 a day and do it that way. So that's it. What if you have no friends? Start adding some. I get that was probably, a joke, but post more memes. Yeah, actually, I meant to, because I'm glad you commented because I meant to reply to that. But memes actually do work. It's just not my, I don't have that. My sense of humor doesn't work that well via meme, but they would definitely work. And I may try a couple of those too to see how that works. But yeah. All righty. Casually flexing your dating pool. No, I don't use Facebook for that, and it doesn't work anyway, from what I understand. Because like I see a lot of women complain about how dudes will friend them and then immediately try to hit on them and stuff, and it's just anyway. No. All right, guys, we've been here for an hour. Anybody have any questions or anything before we zip it and ship it? I'll stick around for a minute or two. My voice is hoarse. But did you find this valuable? I know that like when I talk about anything other than SEO, it doesn't perform as well. But if you found this valuable, let me know. I enjoy the shit out of this. But maybe it's not for everyone. I don't know. But I mean, the results do not lie. Subscriber Hub, it creates a group for you automatically. Excuse me. Do you have any good tier 2 tiering services on Legit that you've used? I don't really build a lot of tier 2 stuff, but if I did, what I would do is just like money site, Facebook page, and then like a GSA blast to the Facebook page or a PBN link to the Facebook page. I don't really go into like the tiered stuff, probably as much as I should. I did. Is Legit allowed to use handsome people or AI image for a profile? If you mean for your profile picture, it has to either be a picture of your face or your brand logo, nothing else. If you mean for your thumbnails, we're actually going to crack down on the stock footage of attractive people that aren't you. So I would not do that. Creators Club says, hello, Chris. You're coming in right at the end, but hello, Creators Club. Chris gets away with a handsome photo. I don't know about that. I look pretty rough today. Whew. I traveled the last few days, and I don't know about anybody else, but traveling absolutely wipes me out. I don't know why. It wasn't even that long of a trip. But anyway. All right, folks. Anybody else got anything they want me to cover or questions for me or anything else? I hope you enjoyed this. I'm sorry I haven't really, I mean, I know I've done live streams the last few days, but I haven't really done them. It's how to get 1 million views on your Facebook profile and turn them into sales. That was the summary. I went through every one of my posts over the last month. So, all right. Seems like they are enough. Caught the end of this, but plan on replaying it. Awesome, Tim. Let me know. Leave a comment on the video later. Let me know what you got out of it or what I can help you with or whatever. Have you built links to the category pages on Legit? Yes, we have. Some of our most successful ones are like that. Although I'm very, very cautious about it because obviously that's, yeah. But I mean, it's pretty easy to crack. Let me show you. Sign in. Now, I didn't build all of these, but there's a press release. This is from my own site. I have to follow up on that one. That one got removed, and I think I paid a good amount for that one. Yeah, you can just go look. I'm not doing anything super clever. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass, right? It's a lot of work. Well, and we have the extra challenge of we don't control the product. I mean, we do, but not exactly. What I mean by that is we might have a profile page that's ranking really well, and then the freelancer goes away. And so does the ranking. It took us a long time to get over that. So, all right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. I got other things to do today. I'll be back tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to do Q&A or not because nobody really asked any questions. So we'll see what happens. Until then, keep it real. Or if not, keep it fake and good. I'll see you then. Peace. Oh, all right. I just paid Jeff Cozio for foundation links, Tom for profile links, then Web 2.0. Can you please explain SEO versus AEO shortly? SEO is optimizing for search engines. AEO is optimizing for AI. All right, guys, I got to go. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Peace.